7 Signs an emotionally broken man is using a woman. Have you ever wondered if your partner truly cares about you or if you're just filling a void in his life? Relationships can be tough, but they get even more complicated when one partner is emotionally broken or unavailable. How do you know if you're truly loved or just being used? In this video, we're diving deep into the 7 signs an emotionally broken man might be using you. It's not always obvious at first, but these red flags can show up in subtle, and not so subtle, ways. Does he only contact you when he needs something? Is he hot one moment, cold the next? Maybe he avoids talking about the future or shuts down when you open up emotionally. These behaviors are more common than you might think, and they can leave you feeling confused, drained, and unsure about where you stand. But here's the good news: once you recognize these signs, you can take back control and make sure your emotional needs are being met. In this video, we'll break down 7 clear signs that your partner might not be as invested as he seems, and what to do about it. So, are you in a healthy, fulfilling relationship, or is it time to re-evaluate? Let's dive into these red flags and get you the answers you deserve. Your happiness and emotional well-being are too important to ignore. 1. He avoids deep conversations. Have you ever felt like you're just skating on the surface with your partner? You talk about the weather, the latest movies, or how crazy your week was, but when you try to dig deeper, it feels like you hit a wall. If your man constantly avoids deep or meaningful conversations, it's a red flag. Why does he shut down when you talk about your feelings or future plans? Emotional connection thrives on the ability to share thoughts, dreams, and vulnerabilities. But if he refuses to open up or deflects serious topics with jokes, this could indicate that he's emotionally unavailable. You might ask about his childhood, or try to have a conversation about where the relationship is headed, only to be met with a vague response or a quick change of subject. How many times has he made you feel like your emotions were too much for him? If your attempts to connect are always met with discomfort or redirection, you might be in a relationship where you're doing all the emotional labor. Relationships require emotional intimacy to grow, and if he's unwilling to share his true self, it could be a sign that he's just using you for companionship, not connection. Does he remember important things about you, or does it feel like he only listens when it's convenient for him? If your conversations stay shallow and he avoids discussing anything meaningful, it might be time to ask yourself whether this relationship is giving you the emotional fulfillment you deserve. 2. He's inconsistent. Does his mood change like the wind, leaving you feeling confused and unsure about where you stand? 1 week, he's all over you, texting you all day, making plans, giving compliments. But the next, you can barely get a text back, and he cancels plans without explanation. How many times have you been left wondering if you're overreacting, or if something's truly wrong? Inconsistent behavior can be emotionally draining and confusing, especially when it leaves you questioning his intentions. 1 minute he's affectionate, the next he's distant and cold. This hot and cold dynamic creates anxiety in the relationship and leaves you constantly trying to figure out what you did wrong. Why does he only reach out when it's convenient for him, but disappears when you need him? Promises are another key sign of inconsistency. He might say he'll call you, but never follows through, or he plans a weekend getaway and then forgets about it. How often does he make you feel like you're not his priority? If his words don't align with his actions, it could be a sign that he's not truly invested in the relationship. If you find yourself constantly reassessing where you stand or feeling uncertain about his feelings, you might be dealing with someone who is emotionally unavailable and avoiding commitment. Have you confronted him about this inconsistency, only to be met with defensiveness? If he dismisses your concerns by calling you needy or overreacting, that's another indication that he's not willing to put in the effort to make things work. True commitment involves consistency, and if he's unpredictable, it's time to ask yourself if this relationship is worth the emotional toll. 3. He only contacts you when he needs something. Does it feel like you're only useful to him when he needs a favor? Maybe you haven't heard from him in days or weeks, but the moment he needs help moving furniture or a ride to the airport, he suddenly pops up in your messages. How many times has he only reached out when there's something in it for him? Relationships should be about mutual support, but if he's only contacting you when it's convenient for him, this is a clear sign of emotional manipulation. Imagine this: he hasn't been in touch for weeks, but then he calls you out of nowhere, asking for help with something, only for him to disappear again once his needs are met. Does this make you feel like you're being used? A healthy relationship involves both partners offering emotional support, care, and attention to each other in good times and bad. But if he only pops up when he needs something from you, that's not a balanced relationship. How does he respond when you're the one who needs help or attention? If he can't reciprocate or show interest in your life and well-being, it's time to reassess the dynamics. Healthy relationships are about giving and receiving, not just using one another for convenience. Is this really the kind of relationship you want? Or are you just a backup option for him when he's in need? 4. He doesn't include you in his life. How often do you feel like you're living in separate worlds? A man who values you will want to share his life with you, his friends, his family, his achievements. If he keeps you out of the important parts of his life, it's a huge red flag. Why hasn't he introduced you to his closest friends or invited you to family events? If you've been dating for months, or even years, and you've never been to a social gathering with his friends, or you're always left out of family holidays and celebrations, something's not right. How often do you find yourself questioning if you're just a secret, or if he's hiding you from his world? A guy who's truly serious about you will want to show you off and make you a part of his life. Is he unwilling to take you to work events or introduce you to people important to him? If you're always left out of key moments in his life, he might not be thinking about a future with you. Relationships should be built on sharing experiences, not keeping secrets or pretending you don't exist when others are around. Does this lack of inclusion make you feel insignificant or like an afterthought? You deserve someone who can't wait to include you in everything that matters to him. 5. He avoids commitment. Has he ever avoided labeling the relationship or shied away from future discussions? If he's emotionally broken, he may resist talking about labels like girlfriend or partner, and steer clear of any talk about a shared future. Why does he change the subject when you bring up moving in together, marriage, or long-term plans? This is a sign he's not ready to fully commit to you, even if he says otherwise. An emotionally unavailable man often avoids commitment because he's afraid of getting hurt, or he simply doesn't want to invest the emotional energy required for a serious relationship. Does he make excuses like "I'm not ready" or "I'm too busy"? These are often just ways of avoiding the inevitable conversation about the future, and they show he's not willing to invest in building something lasting. If he's not ready to talk about commitment even after months or years of dating, why do you continue to stay in limbo? You deserve someone who's ready to move forward with you, not someone who keeps you hanging on with vague promises. 6. He makes you feel guilty. Do you often feel like you're walking on eggshells, afraid to express your needs? If he's constantly making you feel guilty for wanting time or emotional connection, that's a manipulative tactic. Have you ever been accused of being needy just because you wanted more attention or affection? This kind of behavior can leave you feeling like you're the problem in the relationship, even when you're simply asking for what you deserve. An emotionally broken man might turn the tables when you bring up concerns or express your feelings. Instead of listening and validating you, he might say things like, "Why can't you just be happy?" or accuse you of overreacting. How often does he invalidate your emotions, leaving you feeling like you're the one in the wrong? This is a form of emotional manipulation that can make you question your own worth. In a healthy relationship, both partners listen, support, and validate each other's feelings. If he's always turning your emotions back on you, it might be time to ask yourself why you're tolerating this kind of treatment. Do you feel emotionally safe with him, or are you constantly feeling guilty for just wanting to be loved? 7. He doesn't support your goals. How does he react when you talk about your dreams and aspirations? If your partner doesn't show genuine interest or actively support your goals, it's a clear sign he's not truly invested in your happiness. Is he dismissive or indifferent when you talk about your career, education, or personal growth? A supportive partner is your biggest cheerleader. He'll listen, encourage, and help you grow. But if he doesn't care about your ambitions, it may be time to question his true feelings. Does he celebrate your successes, big or small? Or does he downplay them? A man who truly values you will want to see you thrive and succeed. If he doesn't care about your progress, it suggests that he may not see you as an equal partner in the relationship. How much of a priority are your dreams to him? If your goals always take a backseat to his needs, it's a sign that he's not invested in a future with you. Your dreams and goals are important. You deserve a partner who believes in you and supports your journey. Are you with someone who lifts you up, or are you constantly sacrificing your own happiness to make him happy? What to do next? If you notice any of these signs in your relationship, it's time to have an honest conversation about where you stand. You deserve a partner who values and supports you, not someone who's emotionally distant or manipulative. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with friends who might need this advice. And make sure to subscribe for more content on relationships, dating, and personal growth. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.